Hello friends, welcome. In this video we are going to make an interface where we can change the skin of our character body 2D and let's see what we have got in our project first. So I've got this main node which is just a type node, and this is the main scene of our project. So we can see the player scene here, so which I have instantiated. So this is just a little bit a small ball, and we have got a panel here and a center container and a grid container which we will be using to place our buttons here. And this is our player scene, and let me show you the player scene also. Click on the player scene. Okay, so this is our player scene. I have got Sprite2D with a texture and a collision shape 2D. That's it. So we are going to change the skin of this player. So let's see. First of all, let me go back to my main scene. So this is my main scene. It's on a portrait mode. And let's start changing the skin of the player. So first of all, let's add some of the buttons that will help us to change the skin of this player. For that, let me click on the grid container here, and let me right click and let's add a child node. So let me just use a texture button, texture texture button, create. So I've created a texture button, and let's just where is it? Texture here. Here in the inspector we have got a textures here, and there are a lot of textures. I'll just use a normal texture for now, and let's grab a texture from here from my project. So this will be also act as skin of the player, which will be changing. So let me drag this one.png inside this normal texture, and we have got our first button here. And let me just duplicate it. Control D, Control V, Control D. So we have got 4 textures, so I'm going to make 4 buttons. And the second one, button 2. So let's go to textures and let me replace it with this texture. And the third button, also do the same thing. I'll just replace it with the 3.png, and the last, our texture button 4. Go to textures and replace the texture with 4.png. So we have got 4 textures that we'll be using to change the skin of our player. And generally you would have to save the textures in your resource file, but for the sake of this tutorial I'll just use it in the buttons. And if your project is very small and you don't save datas, you can use it like this. But if your project is a little bit larger and you will save your datas in different files, then you might want to use a resource file for saving your textures and datas. And we have got our buttons. Now if we click on the button, we need to change our player texture, the skin of the player. So let's do that. For doing that, I'm going to show you my main GD here, script. So we have got nothing right now, it's all empty. So let's add some of the codes. For adding some of the code, let's go to first of all texture button, and let's go to nodes and connect the signal. Press signal here, click on the pressed, and let's connect the signal. Connect. So we have got a function here, so it will run when this texture button is pressed. So once the texture button is pressed, we will replace this player texture, the current texture, with the buttons texture. So let's do that. For that, let me go back to script, and here let me just drag our player scene inside the code, and also all the texture buttons inside the code. Texture button 2, texture button 3, make sure you use a control key to have this on ready also when releasing your buttons inside the script. And we have got our player, then we have got our buttons here. Now if we press the texture button, then we are going to replace the player dot get or dot get underscore node node. So it has a node called, let me show you the player scene first. So it has a node called Sprite2D and which has the texture. Yeah, so let's get that node Sprite2D, Sprit Sprite. Oh, I have a spelling mistake here. Yeah, Sprite 2D. So this is the node. So we are getting this node, and then we have a property called texture. So the player node has this Sprite2D and it has a property called texture, and we are going to assign this texture the buttons texture. So let's grab texture button dot texture normal tab. So what did we do is let me go back to my main scene, and here in the texture button, if you see, we have got texture.normal that is set to this texture. So I have replaced the current texture of the Sprite2D of player scene with the texture of the button that has been clicked, and save it. Next, let's do the similar things for these three buttons as well. So go to node and connect the press signals here. This for the button 2. Next, button 3 also same thing, connect the signal, and for the button 4 also connect the signal. And next and let's just copy this code for all the buttons, paste and paste. And next we are going to use these names, texture button -2, texture button _2 for the second button, and texture button _3 for the third, and the fourth button _4. So we will replace the current texture of the player skin with the texture of the button. Save it, and now let's see if we are able to change the texture of the player skin or not. So let me just play, select the scene, which one will be our main scene, this one, main.tsn. Okay, this is our interface, and if I click on this yellow button, so we can see our skin has changed, and this one. So this is how we can change the skin of our player. Guys, if you like this video, you can like, comment and subscribe my channel. And generally you would use this kind of skin by using the resource file, because we had to actually save the resource file, save the texture. But for the sake of this tutorial, I have just to use the texture of these buttons. And thank you guys, see you next time.